Your name's Carl Meyers. Were you enlisted or did you?
I enlisted in 1942 in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was down there on the anniversary of the Pearl Harbor bombing, and there were so many of us down there that day they couldn't get us in until the next day, and they took a bunch of us in on December the 8th because there was too many of us on December the 7th.
Wow.
And they sent me to Great Lakes, Illinois for boot training. And I was there about a month or a month and a half. And then they sent me to the Navy Pier in Chicago to aviation machinist mate school. And I was there about 6 months. And from there I went to Memphis, Tennessee to electronics school. And I was there maybe a month or two. And from there I went to Pensacola, Florida to take aerial gunnery. We had clay pigeons, shooting clay pigeons. And then from there I went to San Diego, California, and formed a crew that got us together. And I was in San Diego for a while. I was beginning to wonder where the war was, because I've been everywhere but the war.
Wow.
So they sent us to Honolulu, Hawaii. There's an air station there. I flew there for about a month or two at Kaneohe Bay, I think was the name of that. And then from there, I had flights out of there to different islands around. Then I went down to, got transferred down towards New Guinea in the war zones. And I flew in an island off of Biak, which was called Owi, O-W-I. And we were flying about 8 and 10 hour flights out of there. The Japanese had held Biak, but the United States Army or Navy had driven them off of there, and we were based on a little island just off to the edge of it. And then from there I went to an island called Morotai, M-O-R-A-T-I, which was a step closer to getting us to the invasion of Japan, but that wasn't a factor in that, but they sent us up to Morotai. And I flew out of New Guinea and flew into New Guinea and flew into the Philippines and all kinds of little islands around there.
All in the B-24?
All in the B-24.
And part of the Navy?
I was Navy.
And wouldn't that be pretty unique, because most B-24...
Pardon me?
Was that pretty unique, being in the Navy, flying a B-24?
Well, the Army had some 24s, I think. I know the Navy had some B-24s because they had one in the European theater. I know that. But I was all my time in the Pacific, and we moved frequently because the Japanese were backing off and the war was slowing down. So from Morotai, I got relieved by another squadron that was coming out to relieve us. And I got back in the States, I don't know what the date was, but I got out of the service on November the 4th, 1945. And they sent me back to Cincinnati, is where I enlisted. But I had intended to go to school, so I enrolled at Ohio State University, and I graduated there in 1949.
Wow.
So,
How many missions did you fly in the B-24?
I don't know. We were covering 8 sectors at a time because each plane would fly in a different area. And we didn't know what area we were flying until we started flying. And we were covering the area down there where we are. And then there was a squadron in the Central Pacific. So our two coverage, our flights were covering each other, because we had to be careful we didn't shoot down, or they didn't shoot us down, but they were flying off of Guam, I believe.
Did you ever shoot down an airplane?
No.
And you were the tail gunner, right?
Yes. I was fortunate. I didn't ever meet on these guys gung-ho. So, but I've seen a few of them. They're flying around. But Well, we got bombed at night too, once in a while, by the Japanese. But,
Which unit were you in?
pardon me,
In the Navy, which unit were you assigned to?
I was in VB
115?
115. I don't know what the V stands for. I think the B stands for bomber, but I don't know what the V is. I think that's flight. And our squadron number was 115.
What's the name of your plane?
Liberator, B-24 Liberator.
Do you have a nickname for it?
Not that I recall.
Well, Carl, thank you very much for your time. What do you think of honor flight?
Pardon me?
What do you think of honor flight?
Oh, I think it's great. I think it's great.
So
I took the trip to D.C. with them.
you enjoyed your experiences?
I didn't do anything with my war experience. I got something in my pocket about the Navy gave me the Air Medal. The Admiral such and such, I don't remember his name, but there was a group of us got the Air Medal when we came back to the States in San Diego, California.
Awesome, congrats on that.
Okay.
I'm sure you earned that well.